What if I told you that one of rock's most legendary anthems almost never made it to your speakers because the very people who created it absolutely despised it? Here's a story that'll make you question everything you think you know about musical genius and artistic vision. Back on September 9th, 1965, exactly 60 years ago, the Rolling Stones claimed their spot at the summit of the UK singles chart with I Can't Get No Satisfaction. This marked their fourth chart topper on home soil. But here's where it gets controversial. The song's own creators, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, fought tooth and nail to prevent its release. But let's rewind a bit, because this tale gets even more fascinating. By the time Satisfaction conquered Britain, it had already dominated American airwaves for an impressive 4-week reign atop the Hot 100. Yet British radio stations initially treated this future classic like radioactive material, flat out refusing to give it airtime. Why? The lyrics were deemed too provocative for conservative British sensibilities. The track made its American debut on June 4th, 1965, paired with The Under-Assistant West Coast Promotion Man as its B-side. However, British fans had to wait over 2 months until August 20th to get their hands on the UK release, which featured The Spider and the Fly on the flip side. And this is the part most people miss. The censorship battle that nearly killed the song's momentum in its creator's homeland. British radio programmers and DJs were specifically rattled by the line, "trying to make some girl," a phrase they considered far too sexually suggestive for mainstream broadcast. These gatekeepers feared attracting the wrath of the country's notoriously strict censors, so they simply ignored the record entirely. Talk about missed opportunities. But here's where the underground music scene proved its power. Pirate radio stations, those rebellious broadcasters operating outside official regulations, embraced Satisfaction with open arms. They had zero concerns about conservative backlash and pumped the song across British airwaves, turning it into an underground sensation that bubbled up from the margins. The underground momentum proved unstoppable. Despite the official radio blackout, Satisfaction climbed steadily through word of mouth, pirate radio exposure, and sheer musical magnetism. In less than a month after its UK release, it had bulldozed its way to the top of the official singles chart, proving that great music finds a way, regardless of institutional resistance. Now here's the bombshell that'll blow your mind about creative disagreements within legendary bands. Bill Wyman, the Rolling Stones' former bassist, later revealed a shocking behind-the-scenes detail that challenges everything we assume about artistic consensus. When it came time to select their next single, the band held an internal vote that included themselves, their manager-producer Andrew Oldham, and Dave Hassinger, the RCA studio engineer who worked on the recording. The results? 5 votes in favor of releasing I Can't Get No Satisfaction as a single, and 2 votes firmly against. Those 2 dissenting voices? None other than the song's creators themselves, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Think about that for a moment. The 2 masterminds behind what would become one of rock's most enduring anthems actively campaigned against its release. It's like discovering that the Wright brothers didn't want to fly their first airplane, or that Steve Jobs initially hated the iPhone concept. Jagger's reasoning was particularly dramatic, and frankly, quite revealing about his mindset at the time. In a 1975 interview with People magazine, he made this unforgettable declaration. "I'd rather be dead than sing Satisfaction when I'm 45. The irony is absolutely delicious. Jagger is now 82 years old and still belting out those iconic lyrics with the same energy that made them legendary 6 decades ago. But here's where it gets even more interesting. People change, and so do artistic perspectives. 2 decades after that dramatic "rather be dead" statement, Jagger sat down with Rolling Stone magazine and revealed a completely transformed viewpoint. His 1995 reflection showed remarkable maturity and business savvy. "You always need one song. We weren't American, and America was a big thing, and we always wanted to make it there. It was very impressive the way that song and the popularity of the band became a worldwide thing. This evolution in Jagger's thinking raises fascinating questions about artistic judgment, commercial success, and the unpredictable nature of cultural impact. How many other potential classics have been buried because their creators couldn't see their true worth? How often do artists become prisoners of their own limited vision? The Satisfaction story perfectly illustrates the complex relationship between artistic creation and commercial success. Sometimes, the very people closest to a work of art are the least qualified to judge its potential impact on the world. So here's my question for you. Do you think artists should always trust their instincts about their own work, or should they sometimes step back and let others, managers, producers, even democratic votes, guide major decisions? Is Jagger's initial resistance to Satisfaction proof that creators can be blind to their own genius? Or does it suggest that commercial success doesn't always align with artistic vision? What's your take on this creative paradox? Have you ever created something you initially hated but later came to appreciate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious whether you side with young Jagger's artistic purity or older Jagger's pragmatic wisdom.